Greetings, Commanders! My name is Eagle, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about the government. If you like these types of videos, we will give you insights about the game and how the progression of the game works in Kiss of War. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel and like this video for more content of Kiss of War. In this video, we're going to be covering basically the map progression, as well as the government, the roles that are in the government, the loot that can be given, the zone buffs, as well as the zone mail. So as you can see, I'm currently the governor of zone 39. Technically, the government opens after a certain time in the game has passed. If you go to your base to zone news, you would see that over here, all the way to the end up here, you can see that you can, after Glory Road, when you have 8 guilds that have more than 70 members in the zone, which is easily obtainable at that time, they will the government event will occur and the government will open after 24 hours. So after 24 hours, each and every guild can start contesting for the government in order to take over the government. And basically, the rewards that the government offers for the first occupation are actually pretty good. This is why in most servers, there's usually a big contest over the government, unless you have like a more peaceful server, and then therefore there would have been like less conflict before that time. So first of all, let's talk about how the game progresses. You start off with within a country in zone 1 or area 1. So we started off over here, right in France. We are VTR over here in France. We started building over here, building to nearby cities, expanding, and then waiting until the first barrier drops. The first barrier are basically the barrier that is located over here, which allows you to travel or build between countries. So over here we have Italy, and over here we have France. Unless you have this barrier unlocked, you cannot teleport to Italy or even build towers to there. Once this barrier is unlocked, you could. How does this barrier unlock? It's basically if you go to zone use once again and move a little bit down over here, you would see that this is it. So strike back. So once you reach your zone reaches strike back, you will be able to travel between countries freely. So you can travel or teleport between countries and build towers between countries in order to go and invade other countries or to expand your territory. So this is barrier or separation barrier number 1. Separation barrier number 2 opens after Total War. It's basically, it will allow you to access Zone 2. Zone 2 basically is the area right over here. So as you can see, this is a huge barrier that opens right over here. Once this barrier opens, you will be able to go to Zone 2. And then in Zone 2, you will have to access to level 3 cities, which gives you double buffs. So if you can see over here, we have a gathering speed plus 7% and a rally troop attack plus 7%. Those level 3 cities are very critical and has to be obtained strategically. So as you can see, we have 2 level 3 cities over here. We had some sort of more diplomatic server, so we knew which guild was going for which cities. We did contest a little bit over these 2 cities over here. However, we managed to capture all the cities right in this area. After that, barrier separation 3 opens, which is in an event called liberating the capital. So this will allow you to access area number 3, which is the government area. Area number 3 has a lot of special things. For example, you will get access to level 6 tiles, which allow you to get a lot of experience from these tiles over here. Oh, sorry, a lot of resources, I mean. Are the highest, basically they are the highest level of tiles in the game. And it will allow you as well to have access to the government. Now, the government is a level 4 city, considers as a level 4 city. It's the only level 4 city, and it's technically in the center of the map. So what does the government do? How do you capture it? What happens? So once the government opens, or once you reach the event that allows you to unlock the government, you will have 24 hours until the government is fully open. Once the government opens, you would have to fight for the first occupation of it, and then protect it for a couple of hours until it closes again. The government opens every 1 week. As you can see, this is 4 days left until it's open. And if you go over here, you can see who is the governor, and you can see as well the titles. So the titles are some sort of like diplomatic titles that you can give to any player in playing the server, not just in your guild or in your specific alliance. You can give these titles to any player in the server. Now, the secretary titles are the most special ones because they allow these 3 players that are secretaries to actually give out titles in the official tier as well as the sinner tier. So these 3 players over here, Revelant, Zeph, and Quinn, are able to give titles to other players in the game. So normally, if the server is like our zone over here, is peaceful and doesn't have any civil wars, usually what happens is that the government is either rotational or the titles are rotational. Now, in our server, it's actually very civilized, and we have a lot of rules to govern our fights. We don't have any civil wars. We don't have any wars with other guilds. However, we do events like in terms of kill event and other events. We go crazy. So the thing is, these 3 official titles, Scientist, Patriot, and Architect, are usually shareable titles in the zone. Let me show you why, because if you look at the chat over here, you would see that some people are actually requesting those titles. Let me go up real quick. So as you can see over here, so some people are actually requesting those titles. So Captain Marvel is requesting Patriot, another guy is requesting Patriot. Now, what these titles actually give you is bonuses to your development in game. So if you go over here, you would see that Patriot gives you 10% unit production speed, Scientists give you 5% research speed, and Architects gives you 10% construction speed. So before you click any major building or research any major research, or even do your daily unit production, you can ask for these titles from your governor or the 3 secretaries that are appointed by the governor, and they will give them to you in order for you to do your daily development or research or upgrades faster. The military advisor, however, is a more of a constant title because it doesn't have any development, like let's say boosts. So what it usually does, it just gives a bonus attack, and usually is given to a player that is willing to defend the zone or defend other guilds in times of war. So technically, we've given it to Cardinal, one of our loyal members and a big fighter that we have. Sinners are usually titles that give debuffs to the players that are appointed as. So these are usually players that go rogue in our server that actually caused havoc or problems between other guilds and were kicked out of the guilds. And technically, they are just bad players who have bad manners and don't want really to play the game for fun. So these players, we give them sinner roles because we want them to get debuffed and we don't want them to progress in the game because of their bad behavior. And they are affecting the overall health of the server. So mainly these were the titles. Now the loot is giving out on a weekly basis. So as you can see, the legendary loot you can give out one time to one player in your... these are more guild specific loots or bonuses that you can give only to your guild members. So you distribute these loots on a weekly basis if you stay on the government. Now we have technically a rotational government. That means that the loot will rotate every week to a different guild depending on which guild is taking over this week. So we are rotating the government now. I think 4 or 5 guilds are rotating the government. As you can see, let me see the leaderboards over here. So yeah, there are 5 guilds. The top 5 guilds are currently rotating the government. And as you can see, VTR is at the top over here, almost 1 billion power. And we are killing it right now, guys, in terms of power. And yeah, so the loot actually is given usually to the most active and most contributing players in the guild. It helps a lot in terms of development, and it gives a lot of nice things, like over here, as you can see, a lot of speed ups, some really nice rewards over here. Even the rare loot over here gives some nice rewards as well. So these are these rewards are distributed on a weekly basis to your guild members. Now, zone buffs are the most important thing, and I really wanted to talk about today. A good governor that wants the overall development and health of his zone must be activating zone buffs regularly. So me, as being the governor, I do activate zone buffs either daily or like in 2 days after 2 days. So mainly those buffs help a lot in the development of players, and usually what I do is use those buffs once there is, for example, an event. For example, we had an event, I think it's still on over here, where you had to, so Happy Days over here, where you had to base harvest. So what I did is, once this event popped up, I immediately activated a favorable condition zone buff so that everyone in the server would enjoy a 20% plus resource outputs for 8 hours. This way, I maintain that all players in the zone are getting bonus rewards from the event, as well as gather more resources in their bases. Of course, I always make sure to activate these buffs or to send messages before I activate these buffs so that everyone gets ready at that specific time if they want to click a huge research or whatnot. Yesterday, I just actually used Tech Revolution, which gives us 10% research speed. I paired it as well with a buff that was dropped from a Red Wolf Legion, which gave me another 10%, and click this huge big boy over here. This research over here actually usually takes 100 days, more than 100 days. I was able to manage to get it in 60 days, so that's 40 less days, or even more than 40 less days, just because I activated and consolidated all these buffs together at the same time and then clicks this research. This will allow me, or this actually allowed me, to decrease the research speed or the research time by a lot. So this is one of the advices that I could give you guys, is to do these huge researches smartly, and you will gain a lot of benefit out of that. So technically, I think we covered basically everything about the governor. Let me check. So these were the zone buffs. And then you have a zone mail, where the governor and the secretaries are allowed to send a zone-wide mail to each and every player in the zone. So mainly this is what I wanted to talk about the zone. However, let's go to one very important topic, is that our zone is actually zone 39, and it will be available to all players to join it. It will be fully open in about 3 days. Usually zones open at 90 days, but what I did over here is, as you can see, it should open tomorrow. However, I wasn't in this zone once this zone started. I was in another zone, and I did this account is actually a jump account. And if you don't know what a jump account is, I'll leave a card at the top where we actually mention what a jump account is. It gives you a huge head start when the zone actually starts. So I had a 3-day head start over here. So if you want to know how I did that, make sure to check the video up in the card. So once our zone opens, we'll be able to accept players from all different zones in the game. So as you can see over here, we in zone 39, and we are half open right now. We will be fully open in 3 days. So this has been said, and this is why I want you guys, if you are interested in joining our zone, in migrating to our zone, then I would highly recommend. And how to do that is basically if you go to special rewards over here, go to special packs, and then get the transfer orders right over here. This will allow you to transfer to other zones and migrate to our zone. Our zone is very diplomatic. We do a lot of fun events together. We do a lot of kill events together, and it's super fun. There's another way to obtain those is basically if you go over here and you can see them, each transfer order costs about 300k individual exploit. So if you guys are interested in joining our zone, please make sure to send me a message or Quinn a message. Quinn is my guy over here. He is my military advisor as well. So make sure to send us a message on Discord, which I will leave in the description and the comments below, of which zone you are coming from and why would you like to join our zone. And we would love to welcome everybody in our zone. We have a full development tree in our guild. As you can see over here, we have huge buffs in our guild that will help you progress and develop faster in the game. So this zone is actually preparing for server versus server event, which is a future event that is extremely fun, and it's basically the long-term event of the game. And this is why we are preparing right now and joining our forces in order to prepare for that event, as well as we are trying to create a professional Raiders of the Treasure team so that we can participate professionally later on in the game when they introduce tournaments server-wide. So this is what I wanted to say about our zone and try to promote it for you guys. We offer a lot of fun stuff here, especially in VTR. We have a lot of space. We can take like about 15 farm accounts. So that would leave us with 20 plus space. So please make sure, if you guys want to or interested in joining our zone, please make sure to hit us and message me or Quinn on Discord. And I would like to thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.